This is Andy Perrault for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Lou DiBELLA. Lou, how are you?
I'm good.
Obviously, we've come down today for Regis Prograis awarding of his WA World title. Just talking about his backstory and how excited you are to have seen him receive his world title.
He's worked hard to get here. He deserves this. He's in the finals of the WBSS. He's going to fight Josh Taylor for supremacy at 140. He's the #1 ranked 140 pounder in the world. Now has a BA title, as well as the BC Diamond Belt. This is a guy that survived the Katrina hurricane in New Orleans, relocated to Houston. Tremendous kid and a tremendous fighter, and I'm really thrilled that he's in this position. He wants to be the best in the world. I believe he is the best 40-pounder in the world, and he's going to get to prove that against Josh Taylor in September or early October.
Talking about that fight, people were mentioning the round table, but not sure about a location for you. What have the early discussions maybe made you think there's a likelihood of it ending up?
I don't know that there's likelihood of anything. It's up to the World Boxing Super Series where it's going to be. I want to see it where it's going to be the biggest. I want to see it in a major media market. I want to see it where we're going to have as much international media present, and the fight makes as much noise and is as big as it possibly can be. That's my desire. Next week, I'm intending to reach out to the World Boxing Super Series people. I'm on the same page with the Zone USA. I want to see the World Boxing Super Series finals featuring Regis and Josh Taylor. I want to see that event to be as big as it possibly can be.
What would be your thoughts if it was to end up in Scotland?
My thought would be it would be a wasted opportunity. I think it's great fight fans in Scotland. Josh Taylor has a great base of support in Scotland. I don't think that's where it belongs. I think it belongs in a major international media market, in a major center of where you're going to see boxing press for all over the world, not just UK boxing press. The semifinals were sensational in Glasgow. It was a sensational crowd. It was a great atmosphere. I totally was in awe of the way it looked and the way it felt. That being said, there were UK press and there was no international press, and there was no American press there. I would like to see the finals be at a place where it gets incredible attention.
Regis mentioned his desire to unify as quickly as possible against Hooker and Ramirez. What are the likelihood of seeing those fights as soon as the World Boxing Super Series is over, provided everything goes successfully against Josh Taylor?
Okay, that's a big proviso. We have to fight Josh Taylor. But if Regis wins this tournament, which I expect him to do, the whole agenda will be to make that fight, to make a total unification of the 140-pound belts would be our desire. I want to see Regis with all 4 belts strapped around him.
He mentioned his desire as well to fight Terence Crawford. Just how big a fight could that be?
Massive. Taylor's a pound for, Crawford's a pound for pound guy. Very well, maybe the pound for pound #1. Certainly in the top 3 pound for pound fighters in the world. A great fighter, and if Regis is the undisputed 140-pound champion, knock wood, if he gets to that position, a fight with Crawford would be massive.
Now, obviously, we are in New York, and this weekend, Anthony Joshua defends his world title against Ruiz Jr. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the fight.
I think it's hard for me to see a way for victory for Ruiz. I think he's slick. He looks physically, doesn't look to be as good a fighter as he is. He fights better than he looks in photographs. He's actually got very fast hands. I was a little disappointed that his weight was so high, but I actually think that he could keep things interesting for some number of rounds. My personal point of view is it's going to get really difficult for him. If he doesn't get caught early, it's going to get increasingly more difficult for him in the mid and late rounds. I think Joshua's size, power, overall package is going to be a little bit too much for Ruiz.
On the back of Jarrell Miller's failed drugs test, was Andy Ruiz Jr. the best possible opponent that could have replaced him?
I don't know. It's hard to judge that. I don't think at that point it wasn't going to be. It was going to be hard to find someone who had the package of, the local New York guy, the big mouth. It was going to be hard to replace Miller. I don't know. There was talk of Michael Hunter. Hunter may have been a little bit more fit, would have looked better in photographs. Might have been marginally a more difficult fight. for AJ. But does it really look? The purpose behind this event tonight, is for AJ to fight in the United States and to be seen by an adoring boxing crowd in the U.S. There's going to be a big crowd at Madison Square Garden tonight. He's fighting in the U.S. It's probably for him a positive step in his career. So, I mean, who am I to judge?
Now, the big news that broke last night, Deontay Wilder tweeted that he's going to rematch Tyson Fury. Is the truth in that? Is it all set? What can you tell us?
I mean, I wouldn't be the one to know. I didn't make the deal. That being said, it appears to be, and from what I'm hearing from everyone involved on both sides, it appears to be inevitable that Deontay is fighting Luis Ortiz in a rematch first. And then if he's successful in that fight, I would expect him to be, that there'll be a rematch with Fury, and that's certainly a big fight.
Some people of social media, fans, etc., are just saying that they feel that he's brought the announcement out during the AJ fight week to take a bit of a gloss off the fact that Anthony Joshua is fighting over his. Do you think there's any truth in that, or? I
don't know. I mean, there could be. At the same time, I think if you're Deontay and you're aware of it, you're going to be excited about it. You're going to want people to know about it. I know Deontay very well, and he's a guy that's, not one that he'd want to hold a big announcement. So, I mean, it may not be, it may not be designed to hurt anybody. But it was announced before this fight. But I don't know. I don't put much credence to that.
When could we see that Fury rematch take place? I
don't know. I really am not. I was not involved in those negotiations, nor do I have any more knowledge than you do.
Provided, obviously, then everything does go to plan with that, how does that leave a potential super fight with Anthony Joshua and the chance to crown an undisputed champion?
When you already know that there's a fight with Luis Ortiz, then there's a fight scheduled beyond that, a rematch with Tyson Fury. Then you don't know what's going to happen in that fight with Fury. And then somewhere in the great beyond that, there'd be a fight with AJ. I mean, as long as they all keep winning, it's likely that they're going to meet. But the longer something waits, the more wrenches can get thrown into the machine. And it's hard to guess what's going to happen when you're talking about a year and a half, 2 years down the road.
Well, Lou DiBELLA, I've kept you for long enough. So as always, thanks for being the Boxing Social.
Boxing Social, good to be with you.
Thanks, Lou.